Imagine making a friend and then thinking all along that that person would maybe not be your friend forever, but if they saw you out and about, they would at least try to shake your hand, give you a hug, say hello. Right? Make friends, or we associate with someone that they would not be rude to us in public, especially when they know us. We've had dinners, we've hung out with them. That's just common courtesy. Well, I feel I've been sleeping on Shannon Sharpe's podcast. I mean, the ex-NFL superstar. I love Shannon Sharpe, by the way. I believe he used to play for Denver Broncos. But Shannon Sharpe, he's hilarious, and he seems like a fun guy to talk to. Like, he asks questions, he's empathetic, he's a good listener. I might have to start listening to his podcasts. Well, he had actor-comedian Tommy Davidson pictured here on his podcast, and they were just shooting the shit, having a talk, which is what you do on podcasts. You just talk about anything. Sometimes you have a subject that you're given or something you're supposed to cover, but most of the time on these type of podcasts, people just talk about anything. And that's what Tommy Davidson did. Now, I'm sure he looks back at that interview and thinks, maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut and not said anything, but sometimes, stuff comes out. Now, Tommy Davidson was one that he's not a Nepo baby. He worked hard. I believe he's had lots of stories about his childhood and how difficult things were for him with schooling and everything, but he did well for himself, and he seems like a pretty decent guy. Now, on the podcast, this is what he says, and I want you to pay close attention.
Could you foretell that they were going to be that?
Yeah, I could, because I know that anything is possible in that business if you're talented.
Right.
But it's the other stuff that has to line up.
Right.
There's all these industries, publicity.
Right.
There's the agent industry.
Right.
There's a management industry.
Right.
But I never knew that some of them would stop talking to me when they got to that point. I remember her. I was like, I remember seeing her.
Right.
And this ain't no J-Lo bashing, because she's crazy, talented.
Right.
We used to hang out with me, her, my ex. We used to go to dinner together.
Right.
And I met her with Keenan at Strictly Business.
Right.
It was me and Danny DeVito.
Danny
And he's like, there's Jennifer Lopez over there. You know her, right? I'm like, yeah, I know her. So I go over there and I'm like, what's up, girl? Blue, what is going on? She's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, just living like, get some little carrot dip. I'm going, what's in that carrot dip?
Most of the time.
Tasha, I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
I look at her, and Benny's going, come on, man, let me know you're here, man. I'm like, all right, man. And I go, Jennifer, what's up? And she goes, hey.
Again.
So that was like the last. I don't know how she's going to be when I see her next.
You're not going to see her
But
next.
the next time I saw her, I avoided her.
Right.
Because I don't like feeling that way.
Right.
I don't want to be around anybody
Yeah.
who makes me feel like I'm not
I'm less than because.
In my opinion, she hates being around normal people. And it made me think when I saw that skit, when he said that she just said, hey, that song that she has, Jenny from the Block, talking about don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the Block. Girl, don't lie. Don't lie to people. You're not still Jenny from the Block. You are bougie, $68 million house Jenny from the Block. You're not the same person that you were when you first started in the late 80s and into the 90s. You weren't. So, save us all the little like, oh, look at me, I'm hanging around common people. Now, Ben, I believe, does. This is the talent.
I don't know how.
About. That was a talent you were saying she has. Honey, no. Her talent was her big booty and her pretty face. That was her talent. All right. That was what got her a foot in the door at In Living Color. That's what got her foot in the door in the industry, was her pretty face and her round booty. All right. And hooking up with Diddy. All right. Because back then, P. Diddy was the shit. And you hit your ass to whoever you know is going to take you places. I want to mention something. Leo women in general, all right? And I'm not saying every Leo woman. Leo women in general are opportunists. It's just what they are. It's their nature. If you don't have something for them, if you can't do something for them, if you can't elevate their career, if you can't put them in the door, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. All right? And it's kind of what takes them places in life, because they know how to hitch their ass to other people who are successful. And sometimes that's what gets them jobs. That's what gets them opportunities, is because they know how to play the game. Jennifer Lopez is not no spring chicken. She's not a stupid girl, but she continues to play the game. If she's had 4 marriages already, Tommy Davidson, you don't need to worry, in my opinion. She's just a thirsty, clout chasing, money hungry diva. Being shunned by a woman that's had her start in anything, if it wasn't for In Living Color. Keenan, Keenan Ivory Wayans and his family, being on that show and putting her on the map, being a fly girl, being a backup dancer. Maybe that she has. I would say maybe the dancing part, but even that, she can't come near people like Paula Abdul. She can't come near, anybody in the industry, really. She's just a pretty face that knows how to network. It's no different than somebody like a Meghan Markle, who's also, ironically, a Leo. And what does she do? Same thing. She hitches her ass to people that are important. They don't care. They're very shallow people. And it's not bad. I mean, some people in this world will say, you need to be a little shallow. You need to cut off people that really can't benefit you. But that, in my opinion, is not a great way to live your life, because at the end of the day, when you're there at the end of the day looking for somebody's shoulder to cry on, a lot of those people are going to say, well, you shunned me. You didn't even look at me. You didn't even want to acknowledge me. Tommy Davidson is right. Why would you want to be around somebody who doesn't reciprocate the same energy that you're giving out? Why wouldn't you want to be around somebody who matches your level of intensity of saying hi? And that's like a normal thing to do. In fact, if you're really good at networking and really good at being a people person, you will match the energy of the person you're sitting across from. That's what Shannon Sharpe does really well. I watched a couple episodes and I was like, oh my God, he knows how to mirror. He knows how to match the energy in the room. When Tommy said that, he totally went, sighed and, matched his level of energy. That's what we need to do in this world. We shouldn't. Why do you think you're better than people? First of all, when he said he pulled up with Danny DeVito and she still was like, hi, like bitch, you know who Danny is? Danny is way more talented than you. All right. Danny DeVito has been in way more shit than you and is way more talented than you and a real actor in Hollywood. Like, girl, please have a couple fucking seats. That just pissed me off watching that. So Tommy Davidson, I doubt you're going to have a career after this, because she knows way too many people at the top. And if she sees that interview, which, now we're all sharing it, you might not stand a chance unless you deal with people that in the industry that still might give you a little bit of work here and there. But if you do go on tour, on your comedy tour, I will be there. I will be there watching and cheering you on.